Hello and welcome. Today I am going to play Helltank again, and I would like to cover intermediate rules here. So, let's cover all the new stuff we have before we will start the game. We have a couple new units because I'm going to play in the period E. So we will have 3 new units along with some new equipment as well. First, we have Hawk Team. These are infantry units equipped with jetpacks, and they are J type mobility unit, and because of that they are particularly effective when they are defending in the woods. In the woods or town, because if they are attacked in the woods or town, they get +3, so it is pretty hard to hit them there. They are also quite fast because they have a normal movement of 2, but their evasive movement is 9. Next, we have multi-turreted tanks. They are just the normal tanks, but instead of having 1 turret, they have 3 turrets, so they can fire 3 times per turn with a normal tank equipment. And to mark it, you can flip them like that. 1 for the first shot, like that for the second shot, and that for the third shot. They don't have to fire 3 times in the same time. So for example, if enemy approaches them, they can make 1 shot, then they can make a second shot against another enemy unit during the opportunity fire, and then they can fire 3 for the third time during their own activation. Next, we have Air Cruiser. This unit is quite a special unit because you can see it has no range. Why? Because you can arm it with units you like, and you can choose 3 weapons. This mix of weapons may contain air combat helicopter weapon, gun or laser. So this is your choice. You can give this unit 3 guns, 3 lasers, 3 air combat helicopter weapons, or 1 laser, 1 gun and 1 combat helicopter weapon. I think this is the best option. And finally, we have air defense platforms. Air defense platforms are available in the basic game and in the early periods as well, but now they can be also equipped with lasers. You have to choose if your air defense platform is equipped with flak or with laser. What is the difference? Well, flak can be used against multiple units, while laser has a very limited use, because let me show you. When you are firing with laser, you can only fire against infantry, combat helicopter or air cruiser. All the other targets are not allowed. But from the other hand, when you are firing with laser against combat attack helicopter, you got 4, while you are firing with flak, you got 3. So the choice is yours. Okay, so let's cover the scenario. I'm going to use a board in that orientation because it will be easier for me to show you everything. And now, first of all, each player buys a unit worth of totally of $36 million. So, blue player decided for 1 multi-turret tank, 1 infantry team, 2 combat helicopters, 2 tanks, 1 missile launcher and 1 infantry fighting vehicle. While the black player decided for air cruiser, 2 tanks, 1 combat helicopter, 1 infantry team and 1 infantry fighting vehicle. And now, what are the victory conditions? Each side gains victory points for enemy units being destroyed, and he also gets 6 victory points for each successful Recon Mission, because this scenario is titled Recon Mission. How to make Recon Mission? You have to leave the board through the enemy board edge and then stay there for the four turns. Then you have to make back into your own board edge. And now you may ask, who owns which board edge? Now this is something we have to decide randomly. So I decided to make a roll for the blue player. If I get 1, 2, 3, then he will use this edge, and 4, 5, 6 that edge. So this is his edge, so his units will be starting out of the board, and black player starts from this edge, so his units will be there. So all the units are starting off board, and when the game is about to start, they will have to enter the board. Then they will have to leave the board to the enemy's board edge, stay there 4 turns, and then return and leave the board to the friendly edge. For each of such units, each player gains 6 victory points. Of course, they might simply try to forget about this rule and try to destroy each other, but you can tell that you can get more points if you manage to make this Recon mission. Okay, first of all, let's check who is going to have initiative. This is a draw, so let's make a second roll. And the blue player is the first player. So he can choose one of his units. I will start with this tank and make a move. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Well, you can tell that most units at the beginning of the game are going to make evasive movement. Okay, so now black player, he will start with this tank and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is certainly evasive movement. Blue player, I will go with my multi-turret tank and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. This is evasive movement. Well, probably most of our units will use evasive movement. Next, I will use this infantry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And let me check. Seven, and I cannot enter the woods, because to enter the woods I would need to spend 3 movement points. Oh good. Wait a moment. Did I make it right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, I cannot enter the woods now. That's bad. But I think, let me check, for the town I would need 2 movement points. But there is a canal here, and well, they have a jetpack, so they don't have to worry about the canal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Blue player. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, and this combat helicopter remains here. Black player. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Blue player. I think I need to move my camera a bit more up, so you will be able to see everything without me being forced to move my camera all the time. Now this helicopter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, black player, and now. And for my air cruiser, I have 3 weapons: laser, gun, and attack and combat helicopter weapon. So it has 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me check one more thing. 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to stop here. And I am going to fire at this combat helicopter with my laser. Laser has a range of 6. It is not written on the counter, but in the rules. So I'm going to fire here with my laser. And to mark it and to remember about that I fired with laser, I made a note in my copybook, and I put a marker here to remember that I already used laser in this turn. And I'm firing on the combat helicopter with laser, so I need 4, and he uses evasive action, so I get +2. 4, amazing, he is destroyed. Okay, I still have +1, so I'm moving here. It still has its gun and helicopter weapon available. Now blue player. Blue player moves its missile launcher. Looks like I will have to move this camera anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It is evasive action. Black player. Black player moves his tank. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Here. Blue player makes a move with his tank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, we have a lot of units at the beginning. Well, I think that this number will be reduced very soon. And black player has infantry fighting vehicle that moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's all for black player, while blue player has 2 more units. He has this infantry team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can tell that infantry gains no modifiers for highway. It is only for vehicles. And finally, my infantry fighting vehicle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It goes here. So that's all for the turn 1. There was a lot of movement and very little combat, actually. So this concludes turn 1. I think we will see more action and more combat in the turn 2. So let's carry on with turn 2, and let's make a roll to see who is going to have initiative. Black player is going to be first player, so I will start with activating my air cruiser, and it moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It fires with into this combat helicopter with its laser weapon. So I'm going to mark that laser was already used. And combat helicopters declares evasive action. So I need 4 and I have +2. It's 5, so this is a miss. So I can still make a movement of 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now I am firing into this combat helicopter again with my own combat helicopter weapon. So combat helicopter versus combat helicopter is 5, and I got -2 for the same hex and +2 for the enemy using evasive maneuver. 4, so this unit is destroyed. And now I have to mark my combat helicopter weapon as being used, and I still have 1 movement point. I'm going to spend it here, and now I'm firing from my gun, because I still have my gun, against this multi-turret tank. I have it 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. Gun has a range of 10. So tank, multi-turret tank declares evasive action, and to hit it I need 3. Sorry, no, for the gun I need 4, and I have +2 because of the evasive action. 5. This is a miss. So our cruiser spent all its attacks, and it finishes its actions. Okay, now blue player. What blue player is going to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It goes here, and of course it uses evasive action. Now black player. Black player goes here, 1, 2, 3, and now it fires against this tank. I need 4, and I got +2 for the evasive action. And I hit him. Wow! Oh, it looks like this battle is going to be very one-sided, because so far black player wins the day. Okay, blue player. Blue player has his laser weapon here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, it fires from its missile launcher, sorry, not laser, but missile launcher, onto this tank. And tank declares evasive action. So I need 3, and I get +2, so I get 1. I need 1. Okay, this is a miss. So missile launcher fails to hit. Now black player. Black player moves its tank, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now blue player moves his own tank with evasive movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Black player 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Blue player 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry, 9. Okay. And no, it was out of range of this combat helicopter. Now black player 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 9. And blue player 1, 2, 3, 4. And this combat helicopter goes 1, 2, 3, no, 2, and fires at this infantry. Now combat helicopter versus Hawk team. This is 4, and we got +2 because they are doing evasive action. 4, this is a miss, so it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, and now this multi-turret tank moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So no one can fire at him. So that's all, and this concludes turn 2. Now we can tell that the black player is, well, in a better position because he lost no units, and the blue player lost 2 helicopters and 1 tank. So let's carry on with turn 3. Initiative roll. Black player wins the day again. So I'm going to activate my air cruiser again, and I am firing with my combat helicopter weapon against this multi-turret tank, and multi-turret tank declares the evasion, so I get 2, and so I need 2. Oh, that was unlucky. So I spent my attack helicopter weapon. No, it was gun, sorry. Now I have still my laser and my combat helicopter weapon. So 1, 2, 3, and I am firing at infantry with my laser. Laser versus infantry, I need 1, and infantry declares evasion, so I cannot hit them. And finally I move here, and I want to fire at this tank, but tank can fire at me first. It does, but it needs 1. Wow! Wow, that was lucky shot. So this cruiser is destroyed. Well, it was very effective unit, you can tell, but it finally met a worthy opponent, and this tank shut it down. Okay, so now blue player. What the blue player wants to do is, well, my missile launcher is here. I wonder if any of this unit is in its range. I believe no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So none of them. 1, 2, and 3. And now I'm pretty certain they are all in its range. So I will fire onto this tank. And this tank declares evasion, so I need 1. Nope, this is not 1. Now, black player. Black player moves this tank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blue player activates this tank and moves with evasion movement 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Black player activates this combat helicopter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and fires into this missile launcher. He needs 6 and he gets +4 for the city, so he missed. Now this infantry fighting vehicle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was evasive movement. Black player, he goes 1, fires at this multi-turreted tank. He needs 4 but +2 for the evasion movement, so this is a miss, so it was 1, 2 and 3. Now blue player, he moves with this tank 1, 2. Infantry fighting vehicle can fire at him, but it would need natural 2 and +2 for evasive movement, it would be a miss. And infantry, same. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, black player. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blue player, this infantry 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. And the black player 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Evasive movement. And this concludes turn 3. Well, there was very little of losses in this turn, but this dreadful air cruiser was destroyed, so the situation is a bit different, and you can see a couple of units are about to leave the board to the enemy edges, so we will have some reconnections as well. Let's go with turn 3. A draw. Black player wins. So I will use my combat helicopter. 1, 2, 3. It attacks this missile launcher. We got +2 for the city, +2 for evasive action, and -2 for attack on the same hex. So we got a total of +2, and we need 6. 4. This is enough to destroy missile launcher. So it was 2, 4, 5, 6. Combat helicopter flies there. Now blue player. Blue player leaves the board with this infantry, and let's mark it with 1. To remember that it has to stay out of board for the 4 turns. Now black player. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blue player. he goes out with this unit as well. And this is first turn 2. Black player, sorry. This infantry leaves the board. Blue player. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Black player. It goes here. I will place it together to remember that they both have they left the board in the same turn. And now blue player. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the black player, same with this unit. So that's all. That's all for the turn 3. And now I can remove these markers. There is a very little of them here actually, so I can do it right now. And let's go with turn 4. Blue player wins the initiative. So first of all, let's mark these units that this is their second turn out of the board, and same to the black player. And now blue player. He moves this infantry fighting vehicle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the black player goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He is going to wait for the enemy. And the combat helicopter leaves the board, so it is marked with its first turn out of the board. While this tank leaves the board and it is marked as being out of the board for its first turn. Okay, so that's all for this turn as well. This concludes turn 5. So let's remove this. And we have only 2 units on board left. So let's make a initiative roll. Draw. Black player wins. So 1, 2, and I am firing onto this infantry fighting vehicle. It declares evasive action, so I need 3 to hit him, and 2. He's destroyed. Pretty good. And this tank declares that it wants to stay here. So let's mark all the units that were out of the board with one more turn being out of the board. And that's all. We are starting with turn 6 and we have only one side on board already. So this tank declares to stay here, and we can mark the remaining units for being out of the board. So these guys will be allowed to return, and same goes to the 3 units of the black player in the next turn. So this will be turn 7. And now let's make initiative roll. Blue player wins, so he can move first. So he can move with these 2 units, and now they both left the board through this hex, and now they can enter the board anywhere in the 8 hexes range. So this is pretty good for them. And I will start with this infantry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It starts here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Of course, it was evasive movement. Now, black player. Black player can also return with some of his units. He starts with this tank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or maybe not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Closer to the road, the better. A blue player, he has this tank, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Black player, he activates this tank, and he goes here and fires onto this tank. He needs 2 because this tank is using evasive maneuver. 7, so he misses. Now black player, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is evasive action and black. Blue player has no active units anymore, so we can introduce this Hawk infantry team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And they go here. And this is going to be the end of the turn. And I can mark the remaining units that are out of the board as their 4th turn. So they will be allowed to enter the board in the next turn. So this will be turn 8. So let's make initiative roll. Blue player has initiative. So let's check for him. And he decides to activate this Hawk infantry. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now the black player activates this tank and fires at that tank. This tank declares evasive action. It is a hit because we needed 4, we had 2, plus 2 for the evasive action. It is still 4. It is enough to destroy this tank. And so this tank is activated. Now the blue player has only this multi-turreted tank. It enters the board and goes with evasive movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's all for blue player. He has no remaining units on board and out of the board as well. So the blue player moves all his units. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. He remains there. Well, no, he can move here because he doesn't have to be afraid of this multi-turret tank because it cannot fire since it has evasive movement. Now this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is also evasive movement action. Now my combat helicopter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It goes here. and infantry 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this concludes turn 9. Okay, let's make an initiative, draw, and black player wins the day. So I will start with firing with my tank against this multi-turret tank. So multi-turret tank, well, it will take a risk. I'm not going to use evasive action. So he fires with it, and he needs 4. Oh, too bad. So multi-turret tank is destroyed, and he goes 1, 2, and 3 here. Blue player 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Black player 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It attacks this infantry from the same hex, so we get -2 and +2 for evasive movement, and we need 4. So it's 3. So this is a hit, infantry is destroyed. And because of that, blue player lost all his units. Well, I believe that the result is easy to get. I don't even have to count the victory points to tell that black player won by default. He lost only 1 unit, and blue player lost all his remaining units, while none of the blue player units managed to leave the board, while black player's units are going to leave the board in no time. So definitely black player is the winner. This time I have no doubts about it. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching. I will probably return to this game later to show you some real Helltank action with these huge tanks that this game took their name from. So that's all for today. See you!